I was a typical church kid, I grew up in church, kind of cut my teeth on the pew, as they say. My parents were super involved. I think in a lot of ways, having that shoved down my throat sort of thing, and the typical rebellion mode kind of set in. I remember being in 8th grade, being introduced to alcohol the very first time. And from there, in a matter of 2 years, I guess, almost a full-blown alcoholic. Just very hopeless. I felt very empty in a lot of ways. And alcohol seemed to kind of numb that for me. I tried marijuana for the first time as a sophomore in high school, and that seemed to help even more. Marijuana turned into pills and turned into opium. On the outside, I seemed like a great kid. Had my parents fooled for a long time, and had a lot of people fooled, but I couldn't fool myself. The moment that the door closed behind me in my room, depression was there, thoughts of suicide. I was so empty inside, and at this point also I'm not only using drugs, I'm selling drugs. I was more of the pusher sort of guy. I never handed the drugs over, but my job was to pull people in. And the Lord kind of gave me a charismatic personality, so I was able to do that very easily when I used it for my selfish desires. And I remember that evening going to a party and getting just, wasted. And then I went home with a friend, to my house. He came with me, and we're at my home. And my mom, the moment I came in, she knew something was wrong with me, and it wasn't the first time that I'd come home that way. And she was kind of fed up at that point. And this was a Friday night, and she loaded me up in the car with my friend. She took my friend home. And then we started the drive back home, so I thought, and I looked around. I remember bits and pieces, and I noticed this isn't the way home. Where are we going? And our destination was at home. It was the jailhouse in our town. And my mom took me to the police station, and I was so out of it. I don't remember a whole lot. The bits and pieces I remember is sitting across from a desk from a police sergeant, giving me a stern talking to, and my mom in tears the whole time, and me just kind of absent from all of the what was happening at that moment. And we went home, and I distinctly remember laughing when I got home, like it wasn't a big deal to me, but because this had kind of become my savior in a lot of ways. My addictions had become that for me. Trying to find my hope and salvation in all of these addictions, and it just fell empty. It fell short. There was this turning point in my life because there was a weekend that my parents were gone out of town. They were going out of town, and I thought, throwing a party, I'm going to make some money, cheat on my girlfriend because she's going on this youth retreat, and I'm like, this is going to be great. And my parents, for some reason, didn't trust me, so I couldn't imagine why, but they didn't, and they gave me an ultimatum. You can stay with your mama and papa, or you can go on this youth trip. And I most certainly did not want to stay with my mama and papa, so I went on this youth retreat, and I hated it, man. I hated Christians. I even called myself a Christian, though, but I hated Christianity. I hated people that were so happy because I just didn't have that. But little did I know that I would have an encounter that would change my life forever. And that night, I don't remember a whole lot of what happened, but in the Coliseum, I remember this evangelist standing and sharing the simple gospel, and how God cares for me and wants to be with me. I found myself at the front somehow and on my knees, and I don't remember the exact prayer I prayed, but it was something along the lines of, I can't do this on my own, and God, I want you. And my life has never been the same. God has changed my life from that moment, being the pinnacle of my depression and addiction. And He took all those things, and He has used my past to minister to young people and to people that are in that situation. And God has used me in such ways that I never thought He would ever. And it's been an amazing journey. Where I am now, I've been doing ministry for almost 10 years, and I have a beautiful wife now, an amazing wife, and I'm so excited to see what He's going to do with my brokenness. And He's able to use those things in our lives and our past to impact not only the future of people around us, but the present. And I see Him do that often, and it's amazing. I love my Jesus, and that's my story.